Another review? On a review channel?
Every time you say you wanna know me, I get anxious. 'Cause I would probably tell you about some dumb shit. You wanna hear this story about the time we got arrested at a crack den.
Philadelphia singer and songwriter Greg Mendez has released, I think, his fourth album, which is self-titled. I don't know much about Greg Mendez other than that the algorithm thought I would like his music, and I have to say I did in fact enjoy this. It is a sad, short, mostly acoustic guitar album, but with a lot of depth. Some of the sounds here remind me of another Pennsylvania native, Alex G, especially on his more earlier lo-fi work. The album also has a lot of religious themes throughout, and this is clear both in the album's artwork, but also on the opening track, Reverend John/Friend. The song begins with a lo-fi organ playing what sounds like a common hymn, although I can't quite place it. Eventually, Greg comes in on acoustic guitar, singing about a toxic relationship, about a partner who tells you, "I never want to see you again," but then later says, "I love you and you'll always be my friend." The song then ends with a bit of an extended jam that almost adds a bit of lightness to what is otherwise a pretty heavy song. It almost has this, "aw shucks, here we go again" vibe. The next song is interesting. It's called Shark's Mouth and seems to be comparing being eaten by a shark to having to visit a partner's father. Although the tone of the song is one of the saddest here, it feels like there is much more going on here than what are being told by Mendez in the lyrics. The song Cop Collar has even more weight to it, with a more prominent bass line and heavy drums. The lyrics are again full of mystery, but have this sense of tension, as if there is this ongoing fight that never seems to resolve itself, with Mendez getting increasingly louder with the music, repeating that he woke up to sweetness again. It is so sad and yet so pretty, in that it's clear that Mendez loves this person, but the sweetness almost feels bittersweet. We then get the wonderful song Maria, which has many layers to it. It begins with Greg feeling anxious when a partner asks them questions to get to know them better. He's worried about saying some dumb shit, which feels lighthearted, but then he goes into telling the story about the time he was arrested at a crack den. The song ends with how earlier in the day he was clean, but then it's almost as if the high lured him back. It is a touching song about struggling with addiction and being open and vulnerable about your past to a loved one. It is sung over this beautiful indie rock song with these haunting, clean electric guitars that almost ring like bells. The song Goodbye/Trouble is one of the more upbeat songs on the album, yet tells so much about his troubled past, where he had to deal with shady bros, and he's waiting for God to tell him that he's doing something wrong, where I guess he now knows that, but back then he would have wished something like that happened. The lo-fi organ then comes back for the song Sweetie. The song is about loving someone so much, but being afraid that they won't love you back. This affects Greg so much that he wishes they would just say it. Clearer Picture of You is another sad song about being used in a relationship, or possibly a friendship. Greg even references the fact that the person has been treated poorly in the past by their mother, but also says that that doesn't excuse how this person is treating them. The track Best Behavior kind of reminds me of an acoustic song off of an emo album, complete with the spite. He opens by singing, "You got the radio playing, and all I can think is to change it to some shit that I hate. It's better than something that you like." Just so nasty. Greg also sings as if he's being gaslit, like he can be wrong, but this time he actually is on his best behavior. It again is another look at these toxic relationship dynamics that are so prevalent on this album. The album then ends with this little acoustic ditty that sounds like it could be off Toy Story, called Hope You're Doing Okay. The song sort of wraps up the themes of the album with their partner or friend leaving and Greg realizing that both of them were just seeing in each other what they wanted to see. And even as it's coming to an end, Greg, still realizing that they were imagining things about each other, still doesn't want them to go. This is a short and chill album about relationship problems and the toxic dynamics that surround being with someone or someone's friend. It is a sentimental album, but it's not too dour. It doesn't take itself too seriously. Greg's singing is often soft and filled with sweet tenderness, as if it is filled with some aged wisdom. Although I enjoyed this album, I wasn't completely blown away by it, but I would easily give this album a 7.5 out of 10. Have you listened to this album? Did you enjoy it? Did you like it? Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Let me know in the comments below. Also, consider liking the video or subscribing to the channel. It all helps. And yeah, that's all. That's all. See you tomorrow. I love you. Goodbye.